to the homestead and my kitchen. My name is Lynn if you're new here, and today's video is my next video for March Canning Madness, and we are water bath canning today. I have my water bath canner heating up over on the stove right there. And sorry if you hear any noise. We've been getting a lot of rain here the last few days. Like, we had an insane amount of rain and wind. We actually lost a big tree on the side of our house that fell onto, thank God, another tree. So it didn't fall on our house. Nobody was outside. We weren't hurt. It did take out my clothesline, which David will be fixing for me. But because of all that rain, the sump pump is running like crazy. So that kind of is annoying, and that's the sound you're going to hear. But if I don't, it goes constantly and I never know when it's going to. So I apologize if you're hearing that. And we are going to be doing something with all these tomatoes that I have had since last summer. Yep, that's a whole box of them right there. So the very first thing is make sure you have a very clean sink. And yes, I am starting first thing in the morning. That's why my hair towel is on my hair in this video. Yes, very clean sink. Fill it up with warm water. Empty the bags of tomatoes right into the sink. And this is why I love freezing tomatoes, because look how these skins remove so easy when you just run them under some warm water. And we can't eat the skins. They really affect David and I with acid reflux. So, but they're great if you can dehydrate them and use them as a powder. These will be going to our chickens. They'll be very happy today. And I love to use my roaster for especially a lot of these big things like this that we're going to be making. And I put it on low temperature and just let it go. And then once it starts giving off its juices, and I added no water to this because these are plenty juicy enough, I scoop off the juice and fill up a jar, and I will can this too. This is great added to chilies. I just use this little strainer to help strain out any seeds to make and any pulp to make sure it's just the juice going in there. Once it's cooked for a few hours, I take my my immersion blender and blend it all up. You can take this all out and put it into a blender too, and then put it back in the roaster. And I decided I'm going to turn all of this into spaghetti sauce. And I'm going to call this a rebel canning recipe, sort of. I got inspired by the Bernardine/Ball recipe, but I added some things that we prefer in our spaghetti sauce over their recipe, but I will certainly share the Bernardine/Ball recipe down below in the description box. But technically it's kind of a rebel canning recipe because I'm not following it exactly. But what I added here is, I added a 1/4 cup of honey. I used 4 tablespoons of garlic powder, 3 tablespoons of onion powder, 3 or 4 tablespoons of the Italian blend that I made. I can also leave the recipe for that. I added about a tablespoon of salt. I let this cook all day, all night. I came down in the morning, and I tasted it several times throughout the day. David did too, and I added a little bit more of what I thought it needed. It needed a little more oregano, a little more garlic, just a bit more honey, probably about 3 tablespoons more altogether, a little bit more salt, and then I strained out all the seeds, and I put it into my big stock pot. It's sitting right here, you just can't see it yet, and I cooked it down, and because we like our sauce a little bit thicker, I cooked it down, got it up to hot temperature again, and we are ready to go. So all my jars are nice and hot. They've been sitting in my oven while I got the sauce back up to temperature. I checked for any nicks and cracks and everything when I washed them, so we ensure they're good, because I'm going to be using quart jars for this recipe, because that's typically what we use when I'm making something with the spaghetti sauce. I have my funnel ready, and we're ready to fill this up. We're going to leave a 1-inch headspace. I have my lids all ready, my rings. We are ready to can, finally, these tomatoes I made into spaghetti sauce. And because this is a high acid food, like I said, we will be water bath canning. So every one of these quart jars or 1-liter jars needs 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Wow, that is just exploding out of here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I wouldn't be canning or baking or cooking if I didn't make a mess. And I saw that quite a bit of lemon juice went flying over here. So we are just gonna wipe that up. Okay, 1-inch headspace. I also have my skewer stick, so we're just gonna debubble everything. I did pretty good. I I didn't need lemon juice in that one jar, but that's okay. And I have just a little bit left if we have to adjust the head space. I think we're gonna be okay. Okay, this one could use a little teeny more. Not much. You have to wipe the tops off because, again, messy. I'm also going to heat up the tomato juice from yesterday. That's the tomato juice. I reheated it, and I put the lemon juice I thought I was going to waste, so that went in there too. I always have a hot kettle or some kind of boiling water just so I can top off any water I might need to. You just want them to cover the tops.
Ooh, hot chocolate. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button.
Hey, who took my hot chocolate?
Make sure you hit the bell so that you don't miss any new videos. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button.
Okay, now we turn off the burner. We just let this cool down at least 10 or 15 minutes. Then I'll crack the lid and let the lid stay cracked open for another 10 minutes. And then we will put them onto our canning mats. And there is our spaghetti sauce. Quite a few jars actually to go on the shelves. There we go, 5 quart jars of spaghetti sauce and 1 quart jar of tomato juice, all ready to go on our pantry shelves. And just like the Sloppy Joe mix, I let these sit here for 24 hours. I will check and make sure all the lids have sealed, wipe them all down, and onto the shelf they go. And I will label them because you think you're gonna remember what that is, but I won't. I am so happy to be getting canning done. I love canning. And when I say it is life-changing, I'm not being funny. It is seriously life-changing. I can't tell you how few aisles we actually go down now in the stores because we don't need to buy it because I've canned it. And pressure canning is insanely life-changing. When you can start pressure canning whole meals and meats, it totally is going to change your lives. I say that with all seriousness. So please, if you have been worried about canning, I promise you, it is not as hard as you think, especially pressure canning. There's so many videos out there now on YouTube, which certainly makes it a lot easier to can. And I just hope you don't let your fear stop you from something that is truly, truly going to make a difference in your life. I promise you, you'll never regret learning how to can. So that is it for this week. We will see you next week for March Canning Madness, week 3. So you might be seeing more than one video a week here near the end of the month as we get closer to the end, because there's a lot of things to can still. So until then, friends, take care, God bless, and we will see you all soon.